Joe, you know it's getting to be that time of year again. I bet Lori's ready for you to take a little trip. What could we do this year?
We've done foodborne illnesses, we've done food recalls, and we did response to food emergencies. And that's many of the critical things that food protection officials do.
Who could give us some advice?
I wonder what Dr. Wiley would have us do.
Food fraud! Of course, food fraud is how Dr. Harvey Wiley, the father of food and drug law, became so famous.
Food fraud's been around for as long as there's been food. It's old, and likely as old has been the regulatory attempts at governing food fraud. That dates back all the way to the Code of Hammurabi. Hammurabi, the king of Babylon, established 282 laws carved onto a massive stone pillar around 1750 BC, including penalties for food fraud. Law 108 specifically addressed fraudulent practices involving beer, a vital staple in the ancient diet. This early legal framework highlights the long-standing importance of protecting food integrity. Rediscovered in 1901, the Code of Hammurabi provides valuable insights into ancient Mesopotamian life and the origins of food regulation.
There were some pretty blatant instances of food fraud that existed in ancient times, beginning with my favorite, dairy. Cheese containing mercury salts, milk watered down with contaminated water, and the worst ever, cream thickened with calf's brains. Yuck!
Food purveyors would benefit financially by adding fillers such as chalk, clay, and even ground up insects into their products. Things like cocoa adulterated with dust and arsenic, brown rice and sugar contaminated with sand, dough for baking mixed with plaster, chalk, talcum powder, and potato starch.
Meat was injected with air and water by butchers to increase the weights. Decomposing meats would be colored with dye to mask their spoilage or even be stuffed into sausages.
One of my favorites is with seafood, with stingray or skates, where their flesh were punched out with circular cookie cutters and sold as bay scallops.
Consumers weren't concerned about food fraud until 1820, when German chemist Friedrich Occam wrote this book. In the book, he describes all the health consequences to food fraud for humans.
Occam was probably the first individual to educate consumers on food adulteration. Occam's book would expose dozens of fraudulent products. He would also identify methods for detecting things like red lead used to color cheese, black pepper that contained a large quantity of dust, copper used to make pickles greener, molasses added to beer to improve its color, straw, leaves, and dried twigs found their way into tea. Occam's book drew attention to widespread food fraud in Europe and encouraged the use of science to detect and eliminate these dangers. Well, look at the size of that tea. I guess you're ready to go, huh? Speaking of tea, do you know many years ago, there were these individuals who would collect spent tea bags from tea shops and other shops, and they'd take that spent tea, they'd boil it in ferrous sulfate, add a little color, and then they drop in some sheep's dung, dry it, and sell it again as tea. Drink up.
That sounds like something Dr. Wiley should have been working on.
Hey, two of those Poison Squad members look awful familiar to me.
Someone once said, a lie has no legs, but a scandal has wings. There have been many food fraud scandals in the United States. Let's talk about a few.